right, Bellringer fans, living environment fanatics from across the globe, science nuts. You guys, you know what it's time for. It's time for the Friday Bellringer. And of course, it's Friday. Got to get down on Friday. Everybody's looking forward to the weekend. Partying. Yeah, fun. And we're looking forward to learning more about mitosis and the cell cycle. All right, so let's do today's Friday Bellringer now.
All right. Hey now. Mr. Kovacs class. It's Mr. Kovacs class. You might learn a ton. It's Mr. Kovacs class.
He's interesting too.
It's Mr. Kovacs class. And he's super cool. It's Mr. Kovacs class.
All right, by now we know what a nucleus looks like in a cell. Like here's a typical animal cell with a nice nugget of a nucleus floating around on the inside. Look at that little nugget. And here's a plant-like cell. Again, a nice little nugget of a nucleus floating around in the middle. That's what nucleuses are supposed to look like when they're nice and round and doing what they're supposed to do. So then what the heck is this? This is normal. There's the same cell, and it's gone crazy in there. It's like the nucleus isn't even fully round anymore. And you put all these strings in the middle of the nucleus. What is going on? Like, you're saying here's the normal plant cell. Here it is. That's not normal. That's abnormal. Look at that nucleus. It's like, it's weird. It's all like broken up and stringy and stuff instead of nice and round like it's supposed to be. Of course, what does that mean? That means that cell. You see those chromosomes. If you see that weird nucleus, that means that cell is going to divide. Right, here's a bunch of whitefish blastula cells, and you can see most of them are normal, but there's a bunch that are got the weird stuff going on in the nucleus. They are going through mitosis, the division of the nucleus, which is called mitosis. And then once you do mitosis and divide your nucleus, you can divide the rest of the cell. Right? Mitosis. Here's some stained plant cells you can see. Right, most are normal, but here's a cell going through mitosis. Here's another cell going through mitosis. Here's another one down here going through mitosis. Right, I can tell because they've got, the nucleus doesn't look normal. It looks abnormal. And all of this is called the cell cycle, right? The cell cycle is the life cycle of the cell. Mitosis is the part of the cell's life cycle when you copy and split the nucleus, right? Most of the time, cells are in what we call interphase. Interphase, which is where they grow and develop and that kind of thing. Interphase has three parts. There's the G1, growth phase. There's the S, the replication phase, and the G2, growth phase, right? When the cells are in G1, they grow. When they get to be a certain size, that's when they reach the S phase and they go, okay, we're getting too big for ourselves. We're gonna need to do the splits, right? Make smaller versions of ourselves. That's what they do during the S, is they do the copying, the replication during the S phase. Then they grow a little bit longer as they prepare to divide, and M, the mitosis phase, is when that nucleus divides in half. It's not really dividing in half because the nucleus copies itself first before it divides, and then it divides, it's like twice as big, and then it divides, and so you get two half as big, which are two holes. Now this is making no sense at all, but yeah, when a nucleus divides through mitosis, you get two new nucleuses, each with the same chromatin, the same DNA. And the way that happens is through the process of mitosis, very organized, excuse me, very organized process that has different stages, right? First stage of the cell cycle is called interphase, right? That's when you still have chromatin. Then when you start to see chromosomes, you call that prophase. And chromosomes during prophase kind of prepare to divide. Then they line up along the middle of the cell. That's called metaphase. Then they start to be pulled apart. That's called anaphase. Then they make two new nucleuses. That's called telophase. Then the rest of the cell splits. That's called cytokinesis. Right? You're going to need to know the stages of the cell cycle. And I, of course, am going to help you in class today to learn those stages. Here's a cell. You can tell it's in mitosis because you see chromosomes, and it's in the prophase, preparing to divide. The chromosomes are lining themselves up. They want to line themselves up across the middle in what's called metaphase. They're not quite there yet, but they're in the process of lining themselves up. Then once they get all lined up in metaphase, they can pull apart. That's called anaphase. There it is, anaphase. See how they pulled apart? And then when you get two groups of cells or two groups of chromosomes in the same cell, we're in telophase, and then the nucleus kind of uncondenses. Now here's some other cells going through the cell cycle. This one's in metaphase, anaphase. This one just went to metaphase, right? And then soon it's going to pull apart into anaphase. Here's a good cell, right here it is. This is the nucleus, remember, of the cell. The nucleus, it kind of disappeared during prophase. There's no nucleus. Then you have the chromosomes, right? And then they line up across the middle. Notice how they're across the middle or the equator of the cell. Right? And then pretty soon they're going to start pulling apart. That's called anaphase. So right now they're in metaphase, lined up across the middle. And then the next phase is going to be, there it is, anaphase. They pull apart. And telophase, right? Two nucleuses. And then notice at the same time they do telophase, the cell splits in two. That's where we're headed today. Today we're going to learn the phases of the cell cycle, the phases of mitosis. Okay, and I'm going to help you do that in class. And by the end of the period, you should know all of the phases and their associated hand signals. Okay, so get ready for that. And then it's Friday. It's the weekend. Come on, party, party. Yeah, fun, fun.